Welcome to New Sky TV Hot News. The top 3 actresses of the year at Hong Kong TV officially revealed. A true watershed moment for the short drama world. The moment the list was announced, the entire short drama circle was in an uproar. Guo Yuxin, Wong Judge, and Yuding, these 3 names firmly stood among the top 3 actresses of the year at Hong Kong TV. This is not just a ranking, but also a report card reflecting the industry's direction. Guo Yuxin, unsurprisingly, topped the list. The hit short drama Summer Fender with 4.4 billion views not only broke the platform's revenue-sharing record, but was also regarded by the industry as a milestone in the transformation of short dramas towards high-quality production. Without artificial saccharine sweetness or formulaic character build-ups, she used layered emotional expression to portray a female character who would otherwise be easily stereotyped as a breathing person. Crying scenes don't rely on screaming, and sweet scenes don't rely on coquetry. A single glance or a pause is enough to break the audience's defenses. More importantly, she is not a quick-fix template for traffic idols. Her formal training gives her a distinct advantage in performance rhythm, character logic, and emotional control. This allowed her to successfully transition from short dramas to long-running series, playing the second female lead in the long-running drama Yuding, where her role didn't rely on marketing to gain popularity, but rather on its quality to generate sustained buzz. Simultaneously, her fashion resources soared, with magazines and brands extending offers. This wasn't luck, but rather the industry's vote for a sustainable actress. Second place goes to Wong Judge, a typical example of fan economy. Her strengths are undisguised: stable output, strong audience loyalty, and the ability to quickly generate buzz through her role choices. Each of her works almost always achieves explosive data upon release. Fans are willing to repeatedly watch her dramas and actively recommend them, which is the foundation of her consistent high ranking. However, the market is also sending a signal. As traffic becomes the norm, character differentiation and performance depth will be the next hurdle she must overcome. Third place goes to Yuding, who relies on a rare passion for period dramas. In the fast-paced, highly stimulating environment of short dramas, she chose to slow down, using her demeanor, dialogue, and emotional delivery to uphold the bottom line of period drama aesthetics. Her advantage lies in the extremely high compatibility between her temperament and the role, allowing the audience to quickly immerse themselves in the situation. But the challenge is equally clear: how to transform sentimentality beyond just being good-looking into a more impactful representative work is a question she must face in the future. This top 3 list, on the surface, is an arena of popularity, but in reality, it is a clear division of industry direction. Some have proven with their works that short dramas can also produce true actors, some have built a solid moat with their fans, and some have secured their place with style and aesthetics. Among them, the one with the most groundbreaking significance is still Guo Yuxin. Her rise to the top tells the market a cruel but real fact: short dramas are no longer just fast-moving consumer goods. Audiences are beginning to vote for quality. When 4.4 billion views no longer just represent excitement, but can truly propel actors to achieve a leap in their careers, the short drama industry can be said to have truly reached the next stage. However, frequent hits do not equate to perfection. As for Guo Yuxin, her current work is still highly concentrated in the urban romance genre, with character relationships primarily characterized by high sweetness and high-density emotional output. While this easily creates viral moments, it also inadvertently limits the depth and complexity of her characters. Audiences come for the sweetness, but what the industry truly expects is for her to further explore suspense, realism, female growth, and even period dramas. Once she achieves a genre breakthrough, her acting potential will be reassessed, and she will no longer be just labeled as the queen of short dramas. Even so, this top spot on the annual list is still well-deserved. Her rise to the top is not a single miracle of traffic, but the inevitable result of the combination of 3 variables: depth of works plus personal ability plus industry trend. Summer of Fender is not only a victory in terms of viewership, but also a resonant example of narrative completeness, performance credibility, and the upgrading of market aesthetics. At a time when short dramas are still criticized for being light, fast, and shallow, her position at the top has strong industry persuasiveness. In contrast, Wang Judge's path is more typical and more realistic. She possesses an extremely strong fan base, with works like Deeply Affectionate Temptation and Summer's Desire consistently maintaining high popularity, stable data, and on-the-line discussion, making her a safe candidate who has a solid fan base from the start. More notably, her starring role in the horizontal screen-like comedy No Big Deal achieved satellite television broadcast, successfully extending her reach from vertical screens to traditional television platforms, demonstrating a significant cross-platform influence. However, the problems are equally clear. While her works are popular, she has yet to produce a truly industry-defining phenomenon. Compared to Summer of Fendra, her output is more of a quantitative accumulation than a qualitative leap, which makes her awards slightly less prestigious from a professional perspective. Previous discussions about fans using methods like vote swapping to boost rankings have also weakened the purity of her rankings, leading outsiders to view her more as a ceiling of fan power rather than a work-driven actress. The true value of the rankings may not lie in the rankings themselves, but in how they clearly reveal the divergence between three paths. Some people use their work to raise the industry's ceiling, while others use their fan base to stabilize their commercial foundation. Ultimately, the answer to who will go further lies in the work itself. The second place seems more like an affirmation of her stable output and fan economy, but it lacks a bit in terms of the absolute influence of her representative works. Yuding, with her many hit period dramas such as Peach Blossom and The Two-Faced Minister's Unrequited Love, is known as the queen of period short dramas and has extremely high audience recognition. Working year-round with a large number of works, she is an important support for the platform's content supply. However, she has played too many similar roles, leading to audience fatigue. Recently, the lack of new hits has caused a decline in her popularity. Her ranking relies more on the lingering popularity of past hits like Peach Blossom rather than her current breakthrough performance. Her ranking is questionable, but nostalgia adds points. The third place seems more like a consolation prize for this veteran's past contributions and status. This list clearly reflects the traffic-driven and results-oriented principle of the short drama industry's selection. Whoever can bring the most traffic and commercial returns can stand at the top. Sweet to the point of being unfair. When Wang and Yuding made a strong breakthrough, the ceiling of romance in the short drama circle was completely refreshed. Without exaggerated character setups or artificial saccharine embellishments, the two-season actors deliver the most intense emotional impact through their restrained performances. A pause in the gaze, a misalignment of breath, is enough to send the audience's hearts racing, prompting them to exclaim, "This isn't acting, it's a real-life heart-pounding experience." Guo Yuxin's achievement is not merely about winning an award, but a clear and powerful signal. The short drama industry is moving beyond its initial phase of rapid, unregulated growth reliant on emotional stimulation and quick-fix sensations, and is officially entering a new cycle of high-quality production and actor professionalism. Platforms need a benchmark figure who can be repeatedly cited and discussed as an example, and Guo Yuxin has found a rare balance between the completeness of her work, the credibility of her performance, and market success. Her very existence raises the bar for the industry. The inclusion of Wong Judge and Yuding reflects the industry's realistic and pragmatic side. The former represents the certainty of stable production capacity in the fan economy, bringing predictable popularity and sustainable commercial returns to the platform. The latter symbolizes long-term influence in a vertical market, an indispensable pillar of content in the historical short drama genre. This recognition is not accidental, but rather a testament to the market's respect for continuous output capability. However, if measured by more stringent and long-term artistic standards, this list also reveals a common challenge faced by all three actors: breaking out of their comfort zones. Sweet romance, period dramas, and established character settings were once the keys to their success, but they may also become the shackles for the next stage. What truly determines how far they can go is not their ranking on the charts, but whether their next project dares to break away from existing paths and reshape the audience's perception of them. The first half of the short dramas has ended. The real test has just begun. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.